So this will be the review for Unit 4 test that you will be taking tomorrow, December 12th. So the first one says, Ms. Terman made a bow for her bulletin board. She had a roll of ribbon that contained 2.5 feet of ribbon. She used 1 3/4 feet to make the bow. How much ribbon was left on the roll after she finished making her bow? Well, she started out with something and she used something, so this one would be a subtraction problem. So I'll go ahead and work that out for you. Let me make it big. And try to use this pen on here. So that will be 2. Well, that's not working. Let's see if I make it back small, if it'll work. Nope, still not working. Okay, hold on. Oh, I can do the text. Okay, let's try this. So 2 1/2 minus 1 . No, not going to work either. Let me figure out another way to do this. Let's try Cami. Okay, let's try Cami. Well, I'm erasing all. I'm going to take the eraser off. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, hold on. Let me figure this out. Oh, exit drawing. Okay. Okay, so I think this is going to work. So back to my problem. 2.5 feet. Yes. Minus 1 3/4 feet. So remember, the first thing we have to do when we're subtracting or adding fractions is to find a common denominator. So if I look at 2 and 4, I know that 2 times 2 is 4. And I know that 4 times 1 is 4. So I know my LCD. Good morning. My LCD will be 4. Oh, yeah. You're good. So 4 would be my common denominator. And if I didn't know that, I could just list my factors. 2, 4. And once I find something already in common, I know my 4 is going to be my first multiple over here. So 2 and 4 are my first two multiples of 2. So I already found one in common. So 4, it'll be something over 4 minus something over 4. Well, I already know what that something is because this one is already over 4, so that's just going to stay the way it is. So my 3 is going to go back here. So to get 4 over here, I had to multiply 2 by 2. So I'm going to do the top by 2 as well, and that's going to give me 2. Because 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so now my whole numbers can go back in here. And now I'm subtracting, remember? So 2 minus 1, I could do that, but I can't do that because I have a 2 here. So I can't do 2 minus 3. So that means I have to borrow from this 2 to give to this numerator. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I could make a whole. I could make a fraction out of this whole. And I need my denominator to be 4. So it'll be what? Think about what over 4 gives you a whole. Yes, that would be 4 over 4 that gives you a whole. So I can take away one of these, so I'll have one whole left. Then I'll have my fraction of 4 over 4. Because I had 2 wholes, now I'm splitting one of those wholes apart to give me my fraction, and it's going to be 4/4. So I still have one whole left, and then this is a whole as well, but I just broke it apart so I can add that to my numerator up here. So I have 4 plus 2 now, which gives me 6. So I can rewrite that as 1 6/4. My denominator is still 4. That doesn't change. Minus 1 3/4. So I know that seems like a lot, but if you just remember that you can make any number a fraction, because if I know my denominator needs to be 4, then 4 over 4 is a whole. So that means I took a whole out, made it a fraction, and I still have a whole left. Okay, so let's go over here and do our subtraction. So 1 minus 1 is 0, so I don't have any holes now. 6 minus 3 is 3. So that's 3 over 4 is my answer. Good morning, how are you?
Is there a theme or something going?
Okay, so number 2 says Miss Smith went to the grocery store twice in 1 week. One day she spent 1 1/4 hours in the store. On the second day, she spent 1 2/8 hours in the store. How long did she spend shopping in total? Select the model that represents this. So for this one, I have to add to find out how much she spent in the store in total, how long she spent. So I need to do 1. See if I can find some room. 1 plus, I'm sorry, not 1 plus, how do I undo? Still in the ratio. Yep. So that's going to be, I'll do it here, 1 1/4 plus 1 2/8. So to add fractions, I need to find a common denominator. Now if I look at this, I know that 8 is going to be my LCD because 4 times 2 is 8. So I can go ahead and write that back. So 1, I'm going to go ahead and do this so I won't have to use so much room. So if I do times 2 here, I need to do times 2 here. And 1 times 2 is 2. So it's going to be 2/8. It was supposed to be 8. Oh, no, I was writing my 1. Okay. So 1 2/8 plus 1 2/8. Okay. Sorry, it's going off the screen. So if I add that, I have 2 as my whole number. Add 2 plus 2, that gives me 4. Then 8 is still my denominator. So it's 2 4/8, but I know I can simplify that because 4 can go into 8 2 times. So that'll just give me, I could do 8 divided by 4. Well, I could just go ahead and divide both of these by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Because I know that both of these, greatest common factor would be 4. Because, yeah, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times, yeah, I could do it to show you. But remember to find a GCF. You could do your factor, you could do a T-chart for 4 and a T-chart for 8. So I know my factors for, my factors for 4 is 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. And then my factors for 8 is 1 and 8, 2 and 4. And that's it. So I'm done. So my GCF is 4. So that means I need to divide top and bottom by 4. So that's how 4 divided by 4 was 1. And 8 divided by 4 was 2. So that's how I got 1/2. So my answer is 2 and 1/2. So now I have to go and find the model that represents that. So that will be 2 and 1/2. So that will be this one, because I have 2 wholes and then 1/2 represented by this fraction. Okay, next one. Okay, let me just scroll down. It'll take away. So Ms. Mack had 4 3/4 quarts of juice. She poured 2 1/2 quarts of juice in cups for her students. How much juice does Ms. Mack have left? So that's a subtraction problem. She used a certain amount. So that's going to be 4 3/4 minus 2 1/2. So once again, I have to find my LCD, and I know that by looking at 2 and 4, I know that my LCD is going to be 4, because 4 is a multiple of 2. So I can go ahead and write that. So it'll be something over 4, which is already 4 here, so that's going to still be 3 over 4 minus 2 stays. So what times 2 gives me 4? That's 2. So I need to do times 2 up here, and that'll give me 2. So 2 over 2 is, I know, is just, sorry, it'll be 2 over 4. Okay, make that better. So that's 2 over 4. So now I can subtract. I can do, my 3's is bigger, so I can go ahead and subtract all the way out. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1 over 4. So my answer will be 2 1/4. All right. And this one is just a line plot. It says Ms. Parsons made a line plot to show the time students in her class spent reading over the weekend. Based on the line plot, which statement is true? So A says most students spent 1 1/4 hours reading. So let's go look at 1 1/4. Oh, only one student spent 1 1/4, so that's not true. B says more students spent 1 1/2 hours reading than 3 hours reading. So let's look at 1 1/2. 2 students spent 1 1/2 and 4 students spent 3 hours. So that's not true. C says more students spent 1 3/4 hours reading than 2 3/4 hours. So let's look at 1 3/4 again. So, well, we haven't looked at that. So this is 4, and then 2 3/4 is 2. So more students spent 1 3/4. That is true. So this would be my answer, C. And D says the same. I'm just going to look at it. I know that's not the answer, but it says the same number of students spent 1 hour reading as the number who spent 2 hours. So this is 1 hour, which is 3. This is 2 hours, which is 2. So no. So I found my answer of C. This one says Ms. Partain is organizing pencils in her pencil box. This list shows the sizes in inches of the pencils she has. Then it says list the pencil sizes from least to greatest. So this one is 13/16 from least to greatest. So the smallest would be 1/2. And then the next one, well, 13/16 and 6/8. Well, I can compare those by doing cross multiply just to see. Pretty sure I know which one is going to be bigger, but